What's up? And thanks for tuning in to my chess improvement journey. I am right now Ramsey, and I'm on the road to 1500 rating on chess.com Rapid. I have recently crossed the 1400 mark, and this is game 2 of this series with a current rating of 1413 in this game. This may be after the game, and my opponent with a 1413 as well. So in this game, I had the black pieces. It says I made one brilliant move, played at a 67% accuracy, a 1050 level. So not the best game, most certainly, but definitely a game I'd like to review. And let's see what happens. So I get the black pieces here. My opponent plays e4. I respond with d6, and I'm playing the perk here. And it looks like he's getting like a Austrian looking attack going on here. And you know that as soon as I see this, I have a move I like to do, which chess.com calls brilliant now, by the way. So I'm sure a majority of my brilliant moves come from this simple trick in the opening. So I take here, and he doesn't even take, which is strange. So I just fall back. Knight takes right here was actually the better move, but I decided just free pawn. We'll go back to normal. So he brings the queen over, eyeing down this file. This certainly appears to be a weak pawn at this moment. I'll go ahead and develop the knight. H6 right here is a mistake. Bishop F5 would have been better, bringing the bishop over. The reason I pulled this pawn up here is because I really didn't want this knight coming and camping out right here. So he plays a4 for whatever reason. I'm not sure exactly what he might have been thinking playing that, but I found a spot for my knight, which I really liked. But the computer once again wanted to see me come here, I guess with the idea of eyeing this pawn. But or it wanted to prevent something like this, which makes sense. I take with the bishop, and now I got my bishop eyeing on this square as well. And I think this is most certainly what the engine was thinking when it wanted to prevent that move by me playing the bishop there. So I go ahead and take the free pawn. He takes my bishop. I take, and now the knight just slides right in here. There's no possibility yet for a checkmate because my knight is covering the h7 square. I decide to bring my knight closer to the action and hopefully get in to protect a little bit while also forking the rook and the bishop here. He goes ahead and takes, which is the best move, because if I take with the rook, he takes the bishop, which was not best. Rook f3 would have been better. I take with the knight, also with an attack on the queen. And then he finds a nice fork here. But in this fork, his queen is also under attack. So I move to king g8, the only place I can go really. And he moves his queen to g5, doesn't take my queen. I thought about this for a second, and truthfully, should have brought the queen here. but for whatever reason, I brought it to the e8 square. And now we got another attacker here, which is also a miss. He should have played queen takes g6. Wow, let's see what that looks like. Wait, that ain't even right. Queen takes g6. So simply taking the pawn there. But he brings the rook over instead. And at this point, the engine says that I got about a 4.4 advantage. I decide to play this move, blocking my king from this queen attack. Also, maybe attacking the knight. He takes the pawn. Now my knight is pinned, so there's no attack on the knight. And I blunder here. Knight h5. This would have been the better move. Protecting the knight on g7. But I play this, and if he finds the right move, he's definitely got a winning game. His best move at this point, knight g5. Not necessarily a easy one to find, but instead he supports this knight with the pawn. I decide that I want to break this protection up. My better move would have been queen e8 once again. I play this, and his idea is to bring the knight over here, which is the best move at this point. Depending on what I play, he could have a mate in 6, mate in 7. But I play the best move. Not the best move. Best move, c takes d5. I don't know why it says it's not just a good move. And this was not a great move. He takes with the rook. And this is an interesting position here. If I take back, say I took back, which they say is the best move, then I get a fork. He gets a fork on me here. So that wasn't what I wanted to play. Instead, I play. Wait, I do play that. I could still take, I guess, because if I take, my queen is now covering the square. So he plays knight takes g7. I take the free knight. He comes back to f5, and now I get the king out of dodge. And you can see I'm slowly sliding my king to safety, which he gives me a great opportunity to do. And I basically walk my king over to the other side of the board, which looks like I castled. But this guy, I will say, in this position plays fairly aggressive and makes me fairly nervous. The possibility of checkmate here. So I block the queen and also protect this pawn. And now there's a double attack on this pawn, which I cover with the rook. And now he's got an attack on this rook. So I'm having to play fairly defensive here. He gets the free pawn. This was not best. I had a nice little mating setup here. I should have brought the rook up with check. And now he brings the queen to d4. I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. I'll slide the rook over here and then go for checkmate right here. But he has better plans. I can no longer do that because my rook is now pinned. D5 would have been better, which I should have played. But instead, I decided to kick this knight away. The knight falls back. Now I play D5 with an attack on the queen. And now I also have a threat of checkmate right here. Well, not necessarily a threat. Yeah, there actually is. He blocks. I thought it'd be good to put a rook on the second rank here. Also attacking this pawn. Queen c2 would have been better. If anybody watching can find it, this right here gives a mate in 13. If anybody's skilled enough to find the mate in 13, please mention that in the comments. And I got 46 seconds, by the way, which is not showing on the screen. He's got 5 minutes and 50 seconds, so I'm kind of having to make faster than usual moves. Certainly don't want to get a draw by repetition. And now here I get block. I get a check from his queen. I block with the rook. And I'll move fairly quicker in this part of the game because, you know, it's a pretty much a completely winning game for me, as long as I don't get my king and queen forked. And this right here loses his knight. And it was at this point in the game he resigned. So it could have went either way at one point. You know, you get back here to where maybe slightly earlier, like right around, I say, this level. He's got a 4.8 advantage. He has a real opportunity to beat me, but definitely a tricky position in which, had he spent a little bit more of his 13 minutes at this point, he may have been able to carry out a win. But I was able to think it through and hold out despite, you know, errors, and I was able to win this game. So this was I believe maybe the second, or it might have been the third, of a 10-game winning streak, which brought me nearly to 1,500. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, support the channel. There's no doubt in my mind that I'll be reaching 1,500 very soon, and I hope that you're around to see it. Thank you.